Hello everyone, Brad Johnson here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing in Adronis, as he's going to be talking about a very interesting topic relating to the masculine, the feminine, and the androgynous. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment now to bring Adronis through, and we'll get started. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this particular broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. We have been asked by the conduit to share information as it relates to the idea of the masculine, the feminine, and the androgynous. Pertaining to all that which represents soul in its purity is that which is genderless, holds no particular capacity, representing polarized limitation. The whole nature in regards to many of the Genesis beings that represent the beings of inception in physicalized dimensions, in physicalized densities, once comprised themselves as completely androgynous beings. The whole idea relating to sexuality pertaining to masculine and feminine or male and female genders was non-existent upon that time. The whole idea of the format pertaining to procreation was the idea of one particular being of themselves to actually produce offspring. That they were already in harmony pertaining to the idea of the masculine and the feminine energies, and that the creation itself was the manifestation of material. It was a sexual alchemy. Throughout the times, in regards to the division through that of which is androgynous, that then became the splitting of the souls, representing that of the masculine and the feminine energies, all came to the idea of division, all came to the idea of dilution pertaining to experience. That through the human race, as you understand it to be, existing within the constellation of Lyra, allowed themselves to become divided in regards to that of sub-race creation. That other particular experimentations were brought along to, shall we say, separate the genetics of the genome, pertaining to the original genesis of the human design. That there was the procreation pertaining to that of the female, that there was the procreation representing that of the male, and that they themselves represented the splits pertaining to that of masculine and feminine design. The masculine and feminine design represented itself in different quotients, in different archetypes. That the feminine was more of the nurturer, more of the essence, more of the purity containing to spirit. That the masculine was the builder, the constructor, the format pertaining to the construction and development of mind. So if you were to look at it more so in the idea, the feminine represented the essence to spirit, the masculine represented the essence to mind, and that they were the builders. And that the feminine and masculine, throughout these particular ways, throughout these particular archetypes, began to branch themselves off into certain levels of division. This was all part and parcel of the particular split that was necessary for creation to understand more of itself, as there were more possibilities in regards to this division. There are actually other particular civilizations that do exist that actually have a multitude of different sexes, that all its different span in that way, connecting to that of masculine and feminine design, just in different sub-layers. There are those in that sense that require groups of 3, groups of 5, groups of 7, groups of 12 to actually, shall we say, consummate, pertaining to the idea of co-creation. There are those, again, that still follow the common path of the two, representing that of the divine masculine and divine feminine to come back together. But all particular beings that hold the degree of the male and female archetypes all represented themselves in regards to certain forms of separations. That much to the galaxy, in regards to hundreds of thousands of different species, operate in the idea en masse pertaining to male and female archetype. This all represents the idea of a great splitting, the idea of polarity, the idea of limitation, the idea of doctrines pertaining to how certain beings would interpret their way of understanding the Creator, of understanding the universe, of understanding themselves. And so the whole idea of the masculine and the feminine, throughout this time of the great separation, from what you would understand as the contraction point, is now looking to expand itself together, bringing them more into alignment so that they may then contract again into harmony, back into oneness. And that these particular aspects of cycles that expand and contract will allow many different beings that have understood more of themselves to become brought back into harmony through the idea of their masculine and or feminine counterparts, the male and the female to once again become one and become androgynous. The whole idea is that many of you are experiencing this through the relationships that you are beginning to discover upon your planet through soul essence. And it is through the essence itself, through the masculine and the feminine, that you are understanding the nature of one mind, that you are understanding the nature of one spirit. That again, representing the embodiment of mind, the masculine, representing the embodiment of spirit, the feminine, coming together and bonding themselves together in harmony. The idea of the essence of the nurturer, of the feminine counterpart, the idea of the builder, of the physical, the masculine counterpart, coming together and harmonizing in this way. And that the whole form of sexuality together is again seeing yourself in one essence, with that who makes you whole, with that person seeing yourself making them whole as well, where the whole idea is that there will be a continued unity developing. Again, this can span quite a long time in regards to how time ranges, but many of you are beginning to understand how you're able to bond, how you're able to attain synthesis of co-creation between the bonding of the masculine and the feminine, for it is the androgynous that are able to, out of love, procreate the idea of life. And that is truly the idea of who you are in naturalness. That you all have the capacity to bond yourselves together through the masculine and through the feminine. For the masculine and feminine are not particular in regards to the apex of gender, but both genders themselves are able to contain certain levels of what you would know as the masculine and the feminine. As they become more aware of each other in regards to the co-creational archetypes that they feature, these particular energies can bond together with the archetypes of the male and the female gender. This is again all part of the aspect of moving into androgyny. Into androgyny, you are the balanced scale. You are the harmony of the masculine and the feminine. You are moving more into the idea of godliness. It is through the androgynous that you are able to manifest in purity, that you are able to love in purity, that you are able to create in purity. That is what the androgynous energy represents. Throughout your times and the generations ahead, you will understand how more of yourselves are enacting into the energetic of the harmony between the masculine and the feminine. As many of you know that this is the time upon your planet to where the feminine uprising is occurring, and that you are bringing yourselves more into the masculine and feminine counterpart arrangement, so that the dance of the kundalini serpents representing the masculine and the feminine energies together can continue to spiral itself upwards, allowing yourself to reach an apex of divine harmonious consciousness expansion, where you are harmonized in the equilibrium of the masculine and the feminine to become the androgynous. We thank you once again for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who have tuned in to this transmission. Thank you again, farewell for this timing, and we now return to the conduit. We will speak to you again in the infinite moment of now. Goodbye. Thank you. Namaste.